Welcome back to Africa 54. Today we have two interviews with African presidents. Here is Africa 54's Ndimiake Mokelele to tell us about the leader of Africa's most populous nation. Demi?
Thank you, Vincent. Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan says his administration is aggressively ruling out corruption in the West African nation. In part one of an exclusive interview with VOA's Peter Clottey, President Jonathan also outlined his government's fight against the al-Qaeda-linked militant group, Boko Haram, which is wreaking havoc in northern Nigeria and other parts of Africa.
The issue of corruption in Nigeria is even beyond my administration. The feeling is that Nigeria is a country where there's a lot of corruption. That's the perception. People use different yardsticks to measure. I don't know exactly how. I'm not denying the fact about issues of corruption, but I can only tell you that as a government, we're addressing it aggressively.
There has been an issue of security. You issued an order to ensure that the security agencies would deal decisively with Boko Haram. It has been a menace, not only in Nigeria, but the entire West African sub-region. How are you addressing this problem? And I also recently heard that the U.S. government has made efforts to coordinate with you to resolve that problem. What is the relationship between Abuja and Washington in resolving this problem?
The issue of security is worrisome all over the world, especially in Africa and some parts of Asia. It was not that way before. Look at what is happening in Syria, look at what is happening in Egypt, Afghanistan, Boko Haram in Nigeria, just yesterday about Kenya. Of course, we are not talking about Somalia. Ethiopia has been suffering from terror for a long time. Uganda had a little, so, of course, Libya. All these incidents are fairly recent. So it's affecting everybody. And probably we may zero down on the issue of terror. But if we don't handle it quickly now and contain this terror in North Africa, West Africa, and Central Africa, and East Africa, definitely it will move down to South Africa. And we believe, and I always say so, that a terror attack on anywhere on the surface of the earth is a terror attack on all of us. And the world must come together to fight terror. And nobody should use any excuse to defend terror. But basically, we will fight terror. You asked about our links with Washington. I have an appointment with the President Obama, and I believe one of these key areas we'll discuss is this issue of terror in Nigeria. They have been helping. Other countries have been helping us, but we need more and more robust assistance, because if we allow it and we don't apply the force we need to apply now, and we just treat it with kid gloves, then it will continue to expand. The best thing is like a surgical operation, is to do it clinically and make sure that we stop the spread. Look at what has happened in Kenya.
What would you say that your administration has implemented to improve the life of the ordinary Nigerian?
If you follow our programs, you know that a number of things have been done. First and foremost, probably I'll go to the area of food, because that is key. And that is one area that can also generate jobs and improve on the rural economy of our country. And people come to me and say, look, Mr. President, give us waiver for us to bring rice into the country, because there will be a major starvation. Ask the agric minister, do I allow people to bring in rice? Say no. We are going to produce rice. We are going to go into dry season rice production. We have some reserves, and we don't need to. We have made people to invest in rice. And we did not give any waiver for 1 grain of rice to be imported into the country. After the flood, though it was devastating, there was no shortage of grains in this country. You know. It did not just happen. People are working.
That was VOA's Peter Clottey talking with Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan. Tomorrow we'll have part 2 of the interview with President Jonathan.